Ooh, that looks nice. Heyo everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Pine Harbor County, where we are getting quite a bit of rain here in Pine Harbor County. So in the last episode, we actually worked on the city of Braeburn, which we're seeing right in front of us, and we created some county-wide passenger connections by adding a train station here in the city of Braeburn and also out east of Pinecrest Junction. So I actually want to expand on that passenger line today by introducing another train station where that will be situated next to our first university and tourist asset. We're then going to go in as well and get a couple of more education needs satisfied by adding some more colleges, high schools, and elementary schools. So with all of that said, let's jump right on into it. Okay, so I want to start by implementing some basic education services, and I was thinking we can kind of put it right in this section here, tuck it right into the curve of the arterial. So what I am going to do is come in with a 4-lane road first, and I'm going to just draw out 2 general roads here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this one though. And this way we'll have our base frame. The terrain is certainly going to be a little difficult, I think. Anyway, so now let's come on in. I actually want to create a little bit of an interchange here. So we're going to come up 90 and 90 and do our best to try to keep it 70 and 70. 70 and 70 meters, sorry. All right, and I did nudge everything just slightly so that it was symmetrical. And then what I'm going to turn off is right hand turning. I'm actually going to fix the direction on this one. There we go. Because I want there to be a straight way and then a left hand turn. And then on this one, I'm actually going to take away the left-hand turn so that the slip lane's actually proper functionally. And we're going to remove all of the all the street lights but that, as well as the crossings. I'll probably add crossings in, but not so close to the intersection because I want to keep this flowing. Perfect. And then that way we have a bit of a grid here to start our educational campus. Awesome. So next I want to place in some parking as well as the college asset first. So I'm thinking these mediums will be pretty good for now, but what I'm going to start with actually is drawing in asymmetrical road, probably right about there. Actually, let's go right about here because it'd be nice to be able to line it all up together. All right, so right about there. And then I want to snap the parking. I want to let the parking actually kind of guide the space that I need. Okay, so now let's come on in with the college. And let's just plop that bad boy down right there. And I love how, what's this called? Not a steeple. The pointy thing. I love how the pointy thing gets framed with the chunkier commercial we have in the back. Just absolutely adore that. So what I'm actually going to do next before I wrap, what I want to do is I want to wrap this pedestrian road around the asset and kind of frame it with a key wall. But before we do that, I do want to take a look at our add-ons. The extension wings I'm not going to add just yet because we actually, if we come to this panel here, we don't really need the capacity yet, we just need the coverage. So what I might do instead is come in just with the college library instead and just kind of spice it up a little bit with the college library. I am really not too worried about dropout rates right now. However, I think it looks nice. I'll own it. It looks nice and I like it. That's the only reason. Okay, so I think I like that for the most part. I do want to remove the stop sign there, and then I want to see if we can squeeze some sort of park in here. So the small park would fit, the small plaza will not. Doesn't really make sense for any of these. Okay, so let's go with just the small park. And I am going to take off snapping here. There we go. And just get that to kind of sit in there for now. Okay. I think that's pretty darn good for right now. Okay, so before we lay down either the high school or the elementary school, I want to come into our development tree very quickly here, come down to the parks and recreation, and unlock the large sports park. I do want to add these sports parks in, and I'm unlocking it ahead of time because I wanted to just see how big are they? And whether or not I may be able to fit them in somewhere. And in all honesty, I was not expecting that to fit so darn perfectly right here. So we may reserve this space for a football field. Or a soccer field. But I wouldn't know if they would fit or not if I hadn't unlocked them. So now that we know we might want to reserve this space for the Sports services. Let's jump on in again with our roads, and I want to stay in a pedestrian road for now. And let's just kind of come down here and add in an elementary school first. Well, next. All right, so with the elementary school, we are going to leave it right on the pedestrian street. Just extend this out just a little bit though first. Okay. Now, what I'm thinking of with this asset is need. We need a lot of elementary school coverage. So we're just at a capacity of 4,000, but we have 12,000 people eligible. So I'm kind of thinking of seeing if I can help it out a little bit and maybe even add in a second one right here, because that is rough. So let's see if we can fit another one right here and kind of almost fuse them together. Okay, I think that should be okay for now. All right, so lastly, I want to add in a high school. If we come to our education tab, we're doing okay on the capacity. Still super struggling on the elementary school here. Might even add a third one, honestly, because that's still such a struggle. Anyway, high schools for now. So let's come on in and let's get the high school in next. Work for now. I want to get a little bit more parking right in here if I can. And then I want to start adding in a bunch of sport parks. So I do kind of like this being right here. However, I have no idea how that's going to affect our traffic. In Cities Skylines 1, placing a field would really increase the traffic a lot. I don't know if this game is going to function similarly, and we've unlocked milestone 15. Okay, loans. All the loans. Okay, anyway. So, football stadium. I don't know if it's going to destroy our traffic. And I don't think I really like it that close up to this main arterial road, honestly. This courtyard area kind of blank for now because I'll probably come in and make a custom garden for it, as well as a custom garden over here. Now, one thing that's kind of frustrating me is that all this traffic is routing down here and it doesn't need to. So I think for now I just might need to place a roundabout right here. So that we can try to better flow the traffic there. We'll see if that kind of helps that out a little bit there. All right, so I am going to be a little impulsive here. I'm going to get rid of that parking lot. And I do want to put a third elementary school right here. Because we really need it. I'm honestly kind of shocked by how much we need it. So, yeah, I do want to add this third one here. See if... I know I'm assigning like districts and things like that, but hopefully this helps this out just a little bit more. I do kind of wish that when we came into our districts, we could see a little bit more than just like household, how many residency. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. So we can see how many people are educated. So uneducated, poorly educated would be elementary school. Educated would be high school. Well educated, or that like pinkish purple, would be college, and blue highly. I have a feeling this is where the need is mostly. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, so for now, we will have 3. So if we named this one Braeburn Elementary School, this one Braeburn Junior High, I'm going to just kind of push reality here, and we're going to call this Braeburn Preschool. Braeburn's going to have some very educated people by the end of this episode. Okay, so the next thing I want to work on is adding another train line right here. We may nudge it a little bit, but so what I'm going to do is I am going to come in and I'm going to delete that segment of the line just for a moment so that I can try to line these up a little bit nicer. Like I said, we might end up nudging it just slightly at some point. There we go. Okay, let's give that a moment to kind of grow in here. This part here was a little bit impulsive, so I'm kind of curious to see how it comes out. While it's growing in, I am gonna just clean up a little bit, because I don't really think we need that much. Crosswalks and stuff like that. Not crosswalks. Yeah, crosswalks. These things that cross the road. So yeah, let's give this a second to kind of build up here. All right, so while we were off camera, I did actually decide to come in and make a couple of quick changes. So I placed some commercial zoning here, added a little slip lane right here, and added a pedestrian path right here. We're still kind of playing a little bit here. So to me, I've been playing a little bit of Whack the Growables. To me, the pharmacy makes sense to have here. residences wouldn't really mind having a pharmacy here, and I don't know about where you live, but a lot of the pharmacies in my area also are a small convenience store of assortments, so you can get like chips, sodas, items beyond just what you might need for medications.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin.
Increasing areas of forest are being
fire.
engulfed by flames. The thick smoke rising from the fire makes the air dangerous to breathe. Citizens are advised to vacate any premises near the fires and remain at a safe distance until emergency services manage to get the fires under control.
Okay, well, the forest fire is all the way out here, so I'm not too worried about that. Anyway, coming back in, pharmacies make sense to be kind of in this area, to my thoughts, but like plastics, for instance, doesn't. So we've just kind of been coming in here and playing Whack the Growable. Next, I normally would not place a pedestrian path over 3 different train lines. However, I wanted to be able to connect these up, and I did not want to go over the tracks with an elevated path because I figured it was going to mess with our height differences. So we'll see if we keep it on the ground or if we elevate it a little later on. Okay, so the last thing I actually want to do is just come in here, and I want to add a passenger stop right here on our existing line. And then I figured, why not also, and I don't know if we're going to keep it here, but why not also add in the taxi stand with the correct measurements would probably be helpful. I think the taxis may actually kind of just assist with moving the traffic around a little bit. It's either going to make it better or make it worse. I really don't know which it's going to do just yet. But what I do want to do is I do want to make a dispatch center because I want to allow the taxis to pick the passengers up from just everywhere, not just the stops. Well, you know what? Let's not do it just yet. My biggest thing is I just wanted to add this right there on top of that one, as well as our other stations. I wanted to add it in. So now that we have all those added in, let's enjoy a little third-person ride of our train so far. Okay, so next I want to come in and I want to start providing our citizens with a university education, as we have no capacity for it and a few eligible. Really not a lot eligible, but my guess is that's beginning to tick up, and I'm guessing it's because there's more of these. Anywho, so I want to do a few things for this because I really want to bring a unique experience to this landscape here. So I want to start by just putting in a couple of guideline roads. So let's go in and do that first. All right, so here are the guideline roads for now. Bear with it and bear with the messy terraforming for me for just a second, because we are going to be working on this here. Okay, so one of the items I thought would be wicked cool to kind of draw in a university feel here would be with the grand bridges. So I've actually already come into the development tree and unlocked Grand Bridge. So what we're going to do is come into our 4-lane road, and we're just gonna knock it up 10 meters. Actually, let's see if we can do 7.5. And just draw this straight across. And now hopefully it makes more sense why I have this random pedestrian path here. I was looking to be able to line up with the guideline and just be able to go straight. So let's come on in and do just that. Awesome. I really like that. Really like this centerpiece here. Didn't expect that to show up. Not gonna complain. I really like it. All right, now if you're wondering what are we gonna place on the other end of this grand bridge, well, we've already kind of come in, unlocks tourist attractions, so that is what we are going to do. What I want to place is the bronze statue. When CS2 was first coming out, this just to me screamed academia. I mean, it's a bald guy handling a book in what could be a globe. So I really was excited to kind of just put this at the end here, so that when you're coming over the bridge, you see bald academia man. I don't know if this is actually a real tourist attraction somewhere in the world, so I apologize if I'm being insulting. I have no idea who this is. At first I thought it was Socrates. No idea. Anywho, so this is going to be placed in the center here, but I want to do a little bit of landscaping right around everything, because for starters, the bridge is it's encroaching on the area that I want to build on. So what I would like to do is just come in a little bit and try to work out the terrain a little bit here. So let's go in and work on that, and then we will come back together to see how it looks. platform for the bronze statue. let's go in and actually place him. And because I've been adding and deleting so many things, we are now at milestone 16. Not much really at this milestone. I mean, we just get a loan limit increase, more money, boatload more development points, and a boatload more expansion permits. So anywho, so let's come on in here. And what I'm actually going to do is delete this once again. And I'm going to actually put in a little pedestrian path. I'm going to turn off all snapping minus snapping to geometry. That was a heck of a lot more difficult than I was initially thinking it would be. Our bridge isn't exactly flat, but I think I can also live with that for now. And that's not exactly lined up, but I can also deal with that. So yeah, I think that our little tourist attraction came out looking pretty darn good. There's a few nitpicky things that I would have liked to fix, like I would have liked this to be a more even elevation and not a random, bump here. This probably isn't a perfect circle. It most certainly is not a perfect circle, but at least I have the keys. And I mainly wanted the keys, so I think we'll be okay for now with just this. Alright, so next in our university build is actually placing the university. So I'm gonna delete these guidelines for now. And just draw out some more general guidelines. What I'd like to do is position our university to be right at the end of this pedestrian path. But I want to be mindful of some of the unique heights we have going on here. And I also have to be careful not to encroach on the bridge. I like this. Terraforming is my enemy tonight. This. Yeah. This I really, really like. This asset is just absolutely gorgeous. All right, next what I'd like to do is kind of an impulsive decision I've made here. Because we have such a huge demand for elementary schools, I'm gonna try and squeeze some more of these assets kind of in this area to see if I can't add a little bit more to just the whole general campus vibe. I'm not gonna do any high schools right now, because we're okay. Maybe I'll add actually a high school out here. Now, normally I have been using and abusing the operating districts with each asset. So like if we come back into our Braeburn campus here, we kept the city of Braeburn in all the operating districts. I'm not gonna do it on this one simply just yet. I might do it down the line. This will be its own district at some point, but for now I'm not gonna assign any districts to this. What should be hypothetically happening is if the asset serves the district first, and then, you know, others can come in. So hopefully this kind of solves the demand here. If it doesn't, or if you think that's not going to work, just let me know down in the comments. I am experimenting with this a little bit, but regardless, this needs to get addressed, and we don't have the district drawn in just yet here. Maybe we'll draw it in by the end of the episode. Okay, I may have gotten a little out of hand with that, but I don't think I could have gotten these lines any closer to each other. It's not perfect, but I'm still pretty darn impressed by it. So this will add only an incredibly small dent in our issue, but we're getting there. Okay, so next I want to come in and work on a little bit of zoning. I want to extend some of the commercial district right here and maybe a little bit down here. We have a blaring demand for it, so I'm gonna kind of play it by ear and then yeah, just play it by ear. So let's jump into this and start extending our road layout right here, kind of out, and get some more commercial zoning in. All right, that's gonna take a little while to grow itself in, so let's work on another area of zoning while we wait for this to fill in. All right, so I think I wanna work on the zoning in this area next. Mainly too, because I wanna see what happens here. We may have overloaded this connector road here, or it's simply because this is all mixed commercial residential here and everyone might just be moving in. So let's work on this area next, and then I want to keep this area here just some good old trees and greenery. I may actually put a very large park area or a sports stadium in here, but then I'm thinking maybe a little bit of offices here and here, and then I'm going to leave this area down here green as well. So let's jump on into that and begin working on that. All right, we're probably going to fill a lot of this area in with trees because I don't want it to be as dense as the area to the left-hand side here. So we will wrap it up at that. So before we get into a beautifying the build time lapse, I want to take just a very brief moment to address a few odds and ends that we need to take care of on our TLC checklist. And the first thing I actually want to do is come into this area here, and I want to add a cemetery. I completely forgot to add death services when we began the city of Braeburn, so I figured we probably should. So what I want to do is I do want to place this a little bit off the beaten path, right here. I'm going to just come right on in and assign the city of Braeburn right away. And then for this one, we're going to just come in with a nice, simple alleyway. Oh, that wasn't even an alleyway. That was a pedestrian path, wasn't it? Oh, that's how you know I think I need coffee. You know, it's funny, actually. Literally 2 seconds ago, I was really debating getting another cup of coffee for myself, but it's coming up on like 10 o'clock my time when I'm recording this, so I feel like that would be a really bad adulting decision. Then I just actually want to extend this turning lane here. So there's a little trick I learned. Another YouTuber was posting about it, and I unfortunately can't remember who they were. But if you hover right over a section and you double left click, you will add a node. So that when you come in, boom, easy to kind of adjust your roads with there. And boom. Okay, so we have our cemetery in place. We have it attached. The add-ons I don't think are really worth it just yet. We don't have crematoriums unlocked, so I can't add this asset here. The temple would add a +2 well-being, and the mausoleum adds attractiveness. I wonder if we can kind of see... And that's just land value. Let's do it. So let's make this cemetery kind of unique. Let's add a temple right there. And let's add 2 mausoleums. Because we're still doing okay for money. I'm bleeding through a lot of it lately, but we're still doing good enough. And I think that adds just a really nice visual aesthetic. We'll come back in and kind of take a look at it in one moment. I just want to get rid of those lights. There. And there, because we really don't need them. And yeah, that makes a nice little layer of height there. Maybe fill in the rest with trees during our time lapse. Ignore that button smashing there. But yeah, I think this will be okay for now. Alright, the next thing I want to do is actually come in here. This is actually just a side thing, but we are going to de-zone this because I'm trying to see how far the ground pollution goes on this. But that's not actually why we came over here. We came over here because I want to extend the road maintenance depot. I want to add some more vehicles to it because if we come to our roads and to our road conditions, we're beginning to see a decent amount of red here in Pinecrest Junction. Not too much out in Braeburn, but worth trying to add a little bit more maintenance vehicles into this before just creating another road depot. So we are just going to grab the extra garage and plop it right on in. Then we should see some more cars start rolling out here pretty... Yeah, here we go. some more cars beginning to roll out. So yeah. All right, and then the last thing we're going to do on our TLC checklist is just draw in a new district kind of up in this area here. And we're not going to name it per the usual. If you have a name suggestion, please feel free to drop it in the comments below. Okay. I think that will be a okay district for now. I am gonna fix one slight... There we go. I gotta make that straight. It would have driven me nuts. Alright everyone, so let's start wrapping up this episode with a Beautifying the Build time lapse. We have a lot to decorate up, so I'm looking forward to it. So let's jump on in and have some fun. Thank you everyone for joining me this week. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like button, and if you're new to the channel and want to continue along with Pine Harbor County, consider subscribing. If you have any ideas on naming the new district, the university, or the statue, please just shout it out down in the comments below. And until next time, I hope everyone has a phenomenal week.